Hi, everybody. It's me, Mark, with Mark's Issues with Archie Comics. Well, today is Tuesday, so we're going to do a Tuesday book review. And today's book is Betty and Me, number 130. This came out in September of '82. The cover is done by Dan DeCarlo. On the cover, it says, "Oh, Archie, I'm so glad you came along to show me how to fish." As you can see, she has all the big fish, and Archie's just got a little tiny fish. But the story we're going to be reviewing in this book is the one up here. It says, Archie catches Betty in an awkward position. Read barely covered. And there she is going, ack. And the name of that story is called, of course, Barely Covered. The story is by Frank Doyle, and the art is done by Dan DeCarlo. And it starts out with, let's see, I'm trying to remember here. Oh yeah, they're out in Betty's yard, and Archie's like, "It's a swell day, swell as in sweltering." He's like, "I'm gonna go home, back home, and get in my air conditioning." And Betty's like, "Oh, not me. I love the hot weather. I'm gonna make use of it." And Archie's like, "Make use of it?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sunbathe in the yard, soak up some vitamin D." And Archie's like, "I hope you don't attract any peeping toms." She's like, "Go on, who would look at little old me?" So she goes inside from the front yard, I guess, to go to the backyard. She's just cutting through the house. And Betty's mom there, she's like, "You're going to do what?" He's like, "I'm going to sunbathe out back, Mom." And she's like, I don't know. I don't think it's very private out there." And you can see like little beads of sweat on her brow and everything. And Betty's like, "Good heavens, you're as bad as Archie. You don't think I'm going to go lie out there in the nude?" And her mom's like, "Oh, you're not?" She's like, "Certainly not. I'll put on a swimsuit." And her mom's like, "Not your new one, I hope, because you know that, grass stains are hard to get out of a bathing suit." And Betty's like, "Oh, that's a good idea, Mom." She's like, "I was going to be laying on a beach towel, but just to be safe, I'm going to go put on my old swimsuit." And she puts on her old swimsuit, and it's got like moth holes all in it, and it's all, ratty and beat up. She's like, "I got this old suit that the moths got at, but who's going to see it?" And her mom's like, "Good idea. That's exactly a good idea." And then you pan off and, what is it? Oh, Archie's at home. He's like, "I wonder if Betty is aware that some kids cut through her backyard when they're in a hurry to take a shortcut. If she's not careful, she could get awfully embarrassed." Because he's under the impression that she's also going to be out there sunbathing in her bare nakedness. And he's like, "Her lying out there all exposed and some dude blunders through." He's like, "I better go warn her." So he takes off from his house, and you see him running down the street. And then he gets to Betty's house. Excuse me. And you hear him, he yells, "Betty!" And she's in the backyard, of course, laying on the beach towel in her moth-holed suit. And she's like, "Eep, that's Archie." She's like, "I can't let him see me in this old moth-eaten suit I'm wearing." So she like grabs the towel and like holds it over her front, like in the picture here. And Archie walks into the backyard, and he's got his hand covering his eyes. He's like, "Betty, I don't mean to invade your privacy," but you can totally see him peeking through his hand, through his fingers. And just as he's doing that, you hear, "Hi, guys." And he's like, "Ack, it's Jughead." He's like, "Jughead, shut your eyes. Turn around now." And Betty's got like a question mark over her head. She's like, "What? What is going on?" And Jughead's like, "It's a game? We're playing a game? What's the story?" And Betty's like, "Yeah, what? What's the story? Am I so ugly the Jughead would turn into a frog or something at the least sight of me?" So finally, Archie uncovers his face, and he's like, Betty, that towel's only covering the front of you. And she's like, yeah, I know that. He's like, aren't you in the least bit embarrassed? She's like, of course I'm embarrassed. I didn't expect you to come at me from both sides. She's like, well, it's too late to try to hide anyways. And she goes, I might as well just throw the towel. And she takes the towel she's holding in front of her and she just whips it up in the air towards the bushes. And the next thing you see is Archie laying down in the grass. He's got bubbles all above his head. And Jughead's like, he fainted. You suppose it's the heat? She's either that or a strong reaction to moth holes. Because he was under the impression the whole time that she wasn't wearing anything. And when she whipped the towel off, it caused him to faint. It was a fun story. An innocent, fun story. I thought it was fun. There are other stories in here too. There's a Jinx story in here. There's what's Jinx do? She breaks a lamp. She goes to hide and she hides in the garbage can. So her dad has to clean up the lamp. And when he goes to throw the lamp away, he finds her in the garbage can. There's a Betty and Reggie where Betty's making carrot pie and Reggie's like, who's gonna eat carrot pie? And like she's feeding all the rabbits out in the yard. There's a story, Like It Is, where Betty is trying to get Archie to drive her out in the country for a drive because it's a beautiful day. And he's like, I'd love to, but I'm waiting because Veronica says she might come by. And she's like, you're always waiting on Veronica. Veronica's no good for you. She tries to get, Archie to leave Veronica and go with her, but it doesn't work out. And then there's another story in there called The Cookie Crumbles, where Archie shows up at Betty's and she's making like cookies and fudge and stuff. And he's like, is that for the party? And Betty's like, what party? He's like, the party that Veronica's throwing. She's like, I don't remember any party today that Veronica's throwing. He goes, well, it's a good thing I reminded you. And she's like, well, it's a good thing I just happened to be baking. And they go to Veronica's house and they can't find her anywhere and there's no people there and there's no signs of a party. And then they go to the chocolate shop and Veronica's there and they're like, Veronica, that's very rude of you. If you're going to have a party and then cancel it, at least you could do is let us know so we don't waste our time doing all this. She's like, well, dum-dum, the party's tomorrow. And now I don't know if you're invited because of the way you were talking to me. That's the thing I like about Archie books. Is they're usually like it can be anywhere from a half a page story, like the Jinx was a half a page story, and the carrot pie for the bunnies like a half a page story, all the way up to 1 page stories to 5 page stories, and sometimes they're even book length. But you get a lot of variety out of your Archie books, and that's what I kind of like about it. And you get a little bit of everybody. It's not just, I guess if you were into superhero books, it would be like reading like a Justice League or an Avengers. You get a little bit of everybody type thing. But that's going to be my review this week. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. Please share. Bring more people into the Archie universe for me. I appreciate it. I will see you Thursday for What's New Thursday. And I am going to the comic shop tomorrow, so I should have some new books to show you. If not, I'll show you what all I got in the mail. Until then, keep reading your comic books and enjoy. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.